Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Top Crypto Bull here once again for your daily update. Just trying out this new app for recording, trying to screen share. So just bear with me. Um gonna just give it some tests real quick. Make sure the audio is working and trying to get the screen share going. So hang tight guys. Okay. Let me see. Do audio check. Can you hear me? Hello? This is just doing an audio test. 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks like everything's doing okay. Let me check. Just waiting on Rumble. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Okay, yeah, it looks like Rumble's working, and it looks like YouTube's working too. Let me just check YouTube one more time. Audio test. Testing YouTube 1, 2, 3. Test. Testing YouTube 1, 2, 3. Okay, seems to be working. Now let me test the screen share. Hopefully we could screen share now. I've been having a hard time finding an app where I could screen share. So let's see if we could actually screen share now. Let's see if we could actually screen share. Boom. There it is. Looks like I got the screen share up finally. Let me check the audio real quick. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we got screen share. Looks like everything's going good. All right, guys. Well, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for bearing with me. Just had to make sure everything was working. Now let's see. Let me just test out the chat real quick. Just want to see if you can post anything in chat. Let me put in testing chat. Testing chat. Write something in the chat, guys. Just trying to see if the chat works. Testing chat. Let's see if it's going to go on there. Huh. Let me see. Testing chat. Alright. Live chat. Let me see. Well, I didn't see anything on the chat. So maybe the chat's not working, but I got my phone. If you can still chat in there. I'll be able to see your chat. It's not coming up on the screen share, but I do have my phone where I can see the chat in case you guys have any questions. All right, let's get right into it, guys. Sorry for the delay. So the question is, are we gonna pump this weekend or are we gonna dump this weekend? That is the question. Now, I believe we're gonna keep pumping. A lot of coins are pumping right now. Hopefully, you guys would have listened to my stream. Yesterday and the day before that, told you guys about Wisp. Wisp has been pumping. But before we get into Wisp, let's get right into the Bitcoin update. Let's see what the price of Bitcoin is right now at the time of recording. Okay. Oh, let me see. It looks like I gotta switch the screen share real quick to screen capture. Hang tight. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Like I said, I'm just trying out this new app. Let me see if I so you can see the Bitcoin chart. There we go. So hopefully you'll be able to see the Bitcoin chart now. I sure hope so. Let me see. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see the Bitcoin chart? Okay. There we go. All right, you guys can see the Bitcoin chart. So that's pretty good. I'm glad you guys can see the Bitcoin chart. Like I said, I'm just learning how to use this app right here. So bear with me. So let's get right into the Bitcoin chart. Current price of Bitcoin at the time recording is 103,000. $223. Okay. All right. Baby G, thank you for saying you can see the chart. What's up, Baby G? Kevin G, 1995. How's it going? Welcome to the stream, both of you guys. So yeah, let's get right into it. So current price of Bitcoin is $103,225. Looks like for the last 24 hours, we had just been going sideways. Um, you know, 24 hours ago when I live streamed, it was at the same price. It was $103,000. So Bitcoin has just been going sideways. Basically for the last 48 hours, I believe 2 days ago. Also, after Donald Trump pumped it, it basically, tapped 104,000 and it's kind of just stalled out at 103,000. So it's just been ranging between like 102,300 and $104,300. That's the current local high. Let's see, according to the Coinbase chart, the current local high for Bitcoin is $104,300, which was made yesterday. $104,352. So the question is, are we gonna keep pumping or are we gonna keep dumping this weekend? I believe, Bitcoin's just gonna stall out like it is right now. Just kind of going sideways between 102,000 and $104,000, and that's really good for the altcoins. When Bitcoin stalls out, kind of just goes sideways. That makes the altcoins pump. So a lot of altcoins have been pumping. If you guys would have listened to my video, yesterday and the day before that, I recommended Wisp to you guys. Let's look at Wisp now real quick. Wisp has been pumping. Let's see here, Wisp. Let me look at Wisp. I've been trying to, a couple of days ago when I came back into streaming, I tried to, let you guys know, a couple coins that hadn't pumped yet. So today's May 10th. So on the 8th when I came back, Wisp was at, Wisp was at a 0.00068, and now it's at a 0.00214. So basically, it's done over like a 200% move. So definitely actually it's done over a 3x. It's basically done over a 3x. So if you guys would have invested into Wisp on May 8th when I first told you guys about it, if you would have put in $1,000, you'd have $3,000 by now. A little bit more over 3,000 because it's done a little bit more over 3x. So definitely, hopefully you guys caught Wisp. So I'm very glad, I got into Wisp a couple days ago. I'm up, at 3x on Wisp right now. So let's get it. I want to show you guys real quick. Let's go back to Trading View here. I want to show you guys the DXY. The reason I do believe, the altcoin season is basically, we're in the beginning of the altcoin season. I uploaded a video. I did a live stream yesterday, but I don't know you guys on Rumble. I don't know if you guys saw the live stream because I haven't been able to upload it to a Rumble. So for you Rumble viewers, most of my viewers are on Rumble because for some reason, YouTube kind of shadow bans me. For some reason, I'm shadow banned on YouTube, so I don't really get that many viewers on YouTube at all. I don't get that many viewers on Rumble either, but I get more on Rumble than YouTube. But I think I'm shadow banned on YouTube because I mentioned Trump a lot. I don't know why YouTube shadow bans me because I mentioned Trump. I'm not political, I'm not Republican or Democrat. I'm not, I don't really care about the political parties. But how could I not mention Trump? I'm a crypto channel when basically, the orange man or Donald Trump, I mean, he basically, pumps and dumps the market every day. So how could I not mention Trump? So hopefully, if you're listening to me, YouTube, don't be so mean and shadow ban me just because I mentioned Trump. But yeah, so I did the live stream yesterday only on YouTube because Rumble. I don't know if you guys knew. You guys probably did, but Rumble was down all day yesterday. I couldn't, do a live stream, and I couldn't even upload a video onto Rumble. But let me show you this DXY channel, this DXY chart real quick. Right now, current price of DXY is $100 and 42 cents. Here, let me go to the max real quick. Here, let me go back here, put it to the max here, to the all. Oh, but I want candles, so well, let's see what it looks like here. Is this all of it real quick? Is this good? No. Let me see here. Here, I want this to show. Let me go to the 5 year. I think that'll show. Why is it not showing? Well, let me go back here to the watch list. Hopefully, you guys can see it here. Here, I'm in the 5 year here, real quick for the DXY. Now, I'm gonna go to 2021. If you notice here on on like let's see, like I think it bottomed out like right in May 2021. It bottomed out at $99, and it also bottomed out in November 30, 2020. It bottomed out at 89. I meant, yeah. So on November 30th, 2020, the U.S. dollar, the DXY chart bottomed out at 89, and then basically, it kept, in this low range, until May of 31st, and that was basically, when the first Bitcoin top came in. But basically, once it bottomed out in November 30, 2020, that's basically when the altcoin season started. All of late 2020, and all of 2021 until May. Basically, the altcoins ran, and most altcoins topped off in the first Bitcoin top of May 2021. But you see how the DXY was low, basically from 89 to right about like $93. So it ranged between 89 and 93. From November 2020 to like about like May of 2021, and then after that, it kind of went up. But most of the altcoins were done running at that time. And we all know once the DXY starts going to the upside, the altcoins basically get crushed. And then the DXY kept going up all the way into basically October of 2022, which was basically the bear market, the bear market low. So that's when all Bitcoin and the altcoins were crushed. So now now looking at the current chart of the DXY, we're at $100 here. Let me go to the 5 day. Let me see here. How do I get let me go back over here to the watch list. Let me put it on the 5 day. So I basically think it bottomed out over here. So here we are here on Monday 20 on Monday. Okay, no, wait a minute. So it bottomed out here. I bottomed out on Monday, April 21st. It bottomed out basically at $97. And it's kind of big, kind of ranging. And it's gotten as high as $100, which is basically right now. So it's kind of ranging. I think it's gonna range between like 97 and like 101, 102 dollars. For the rest of the like next 3 to 4 months. So definitely that's why I think the altcoin season is definitely we're back in the altcoin season, where we're in the beginning of the altcoin season. So to me, this is a big indicator that that the DXY is basically bottoming out. We're about due for the altcoin season, and I do believe it has begun. If you look at most of the altcoins, they basically they bottomed out in April 8, 2025, and they have been uptrending ever since. Like, let's look at Pengu real quick, since I got the chart right here. Let's look at Pengu, the 3 month chart. Pengu bottomed out. I also told you guys about Pengu. My last 2 videos. Hopefully, you guys bought Pengu. It was at a low price, and then it's been pumping. But if you look at Pengu, it basically bottomed out. Like in April. Let's see, April 15. Pengu actually bottomed out April 16. It bottomed out at at 0.0037. Here, let me see. Oh no, actually bottomed out April 8. That's what I was looking at. I was looking for April 8. So here's April 9. Pengu actually bottomed out 0.0037. I mean, some altcoins bottomed out in April 8. Some altcoins bottomed out April 9. But right around those dates, April 8, April 9, April 8, April 9 is when most of the altcoins bottomed out with Bitcoin. That's when Bitcoin hit $74,000. So if you look at Pengu here, Pengu on April 9, it bottomed out at 0.0037. And now the current price of Pengu is 0.01387. and it has gotten as high as uh, 0.01418 according to the Coinbase chart. So definitely, Pengu's doing really really good. It's basically done like a 4x, you know, from its all time low. So hopefully you got into Pengu, at the bottom. I got lucky and I bought it at 0.0042. So just a little bit off the bottom. So I'm doing pretty good on Pengu right now. So definitely not. Now let's look at some other meme coins. Like let's look at Popcat. Look at Popcat real quick. Popcat. Popcat's a good example that that we're basically in the beginning of the altcoin season. Let me go to the 3 month chart here. See, if you look at Popcat, in April 8, here's the bottom right here. It bottomed out April 8. It says here on the CoinGecko chart, it bottomed out at 12 cents. But actually on the Coinbase chart, it bottomed out at 9 cents. So it just depends on what chart you're looking at. But bottomed out around 9 to 12 cents on April 8. And now look at it, it's at 52 cents. So it's basically done like a 6x. 9 times 6 is 54. Because actually, according to the Coinbase chart, Popcat has gotten as high as like 55 cents. So definitely, Popcat bottomed out April 8, and now it's done at 6x. Let's look at another good coin is like let's look at Peanut. Peanut is also another coin that bottomed out. Let's see, Peanut actually bottomed out. The local low came in again right around like April 8, like at 12 cents also. And now look at it. Now it's like at 33 cents, but it got higher. It did get as high as like 38 cents according to the CoinGecko chart. So most of the meme coins have bottomed out. Let's look at Pepe. Pepe's also been mooning. It also bottomed out right around April 8. Let's look at the 3 month chart here real quick. See, Pepe also bottomed out April 8. It double bottom. It double bottom here on March 10, and then it did the current local bottom at 506. It bottomed out. So definitely April 8, Pepe bottomed out right around 0.00006 or 0.506, and now look at it. Now it's at 4013. So all the meme coins have been mooning. Most of the altcoins have been mooning. Especially the meme coins and the AI agents have been mooning. Like I showed you Wisp. Hopefully you guys got into Wisp. When I told you guys about it. Let's look at. If you look at the all-time chart for Wisp, it's way down. I mean Wisp. Let's go to the info here. Wisp is actually, it's still 94% down from its current all-time high. So there's still a lot of potential in Wisp. And, even though it's already, moved a little bit, the all-time low is 0.3041. It's 411% off the low. That's when I bought, Wisp. I bought it pretty close to the low. So hopefully, I told you guys, when it was at 0.0006. So you'd be up at a little over 300% up on it. But from the all-time low, it's up 411%. But if you look at the all-time high is actually 0.036 or 3.5 cents. It's still down 94.2% down from the current all-time high. So still got a lot of potential. If you went 2 days ago, the current market cap at Wisp was about 600,000. Only $600,000 market cap, and right now it's all the way up to 2.1 million. So just today it started to moon. It did like 2-3x today. It's got great tokenomics. I mean, the max supply, the total supply is 1 billion, and the circulating supply is also 1 billion. So I think this is a good AI agent to get into. This was recommended to me by Dexpert. One of the channel partners. Shout out to Dexpert. Definitely recommended Wisp to me in the community. It's basically a Wisp. In case you don't know, it's a Web3 agent orchestration protocol that selects the most suitable agent for any given task and dynamically picks the best option for multiple agents in real time, ensuring seamless and efficient execution of crypto operations. We see AI agents as the future of Web3. Whispers is an open protocol that lets developers build, orchestrate, and embedded AI agents, making blockchain accessible for everyone. So yeah, the company is called Whispers, but um, the ticker for the token is actually WISP, WHISP. So they basically promote themselves to like companies, who want to use AI agents, to make their companies and their business more efficient. So definitely, this is a good one. So I'm very bullish on Wisp. So definitely, if you guys are looking for a good AI agent platform to get into, I recommend Wisp. Again, not financial advice. Don't buy or sell any coin because I say so or because anybody says so. Only invest in the market, the money you're willing to lose. So definitely, Wisp is definitely a good one. Let's go back to the Bitcoin chart. Um, See what it's doing. Let's see watch list. Make sure it hasn't moved on us. Yep, price is still the same, just going sideways. $103,299. That's why I think Bitcoin and cryptos are gonna keep mooning randomly. Some cryptos are gonna moon more than others this weekend. The only thing that will make crypto and Bitcoin dump this weekend, I believe, is if Donald Trump or Scott Bessent, if they come out and tweet or say something bad about the China deal, because in case you guys don't know, Scott Bessent right now he's in Switzerland. He's meeting up with China's with China with Chinese negotiators. They're basically trying to negotiate, a trade deal on the tariffs. So basically, the U.S. Negotiators and the Chinese negotiators are in a neutral country right now, which is Switzerland. That's where they're meeting up starting today, Saturday, and for the weekend, where they're gonna negotiate tariff trade deals. So hopefully, we get some good news that there's good progress going on in the negotiations between the U.S. and China trade tariff deals. If we get good news this weekend on the China-U.S. trade deal, I believe Bitcoin will moon and it'll probably see a new all-time high. The only thing that could dump Bitcoin and cryptos is if for some reason Scott Bessent or Donald Trump comes out with some bad news on the Chinese trade deals. So definitely that's the only thing that could dump it. In case you don't know, there was also other good news today. Donald Trump tweeted that he basically that basically not he himself but a lot of U.S. negotiators. Basically, the U.S. mediated talks between India and Pakistan today, and they were able to basically talk to Pakistan and India, and they were able to come to an agreement to cease fire. So the India and the Pakistan both agreed to cease fire. So for right now, the India and Pakistan war has been is at peace. They have agreed to a ceasefire. So hopefully they could continue to cease fire. Nobody likes a war. We don't want people to die. We don't want any wars. So hopefully that continues, and that's good for the markets. Whenever there's peace and there's ceasefires and wars, the risk on assets, is definitely good for the stock market and for Bitcoin and cryptos. So that's why you see a lot of cryptos mooning right now, because probably right now that the U.S. helped by mediating talks between India and Pakistan, they helped for the ceasefire negotiations. So that's definitely something good that happened. Now let's go back and look and see what Aria has been doing. Let's look at Aria. That's my other pick for AI agents to see what Aria's been doing. Aria's just been going sideways. It's at 0.0016. When I told you guys about it, 2 days ago, it was at 0.0015. It's just been basically going sideways for the last 7 days. But I really like Aria because for the last 3 months, if you see, it's been in the green. On April 8th, when all the cryptos and Bitcoin were dumping, actually, Aria's just been in the green. It's just been in the green. It's been ranging from 0.30 from 0.0008 all the way up to 0.0025, which has been going sideways in that range. But at least it didn't dump 90%. Most of the altcoins, and especially AI agents, they dumped 90%. So hopefully, you guys got into Aria when I first told you guys about it in February. That would have saved your portfolio a lot, because your portfolio wouldn't have dumped. Because basically, just about every other coin, including Bitcoin, it dumped hard. Bitcoin went from 109,000 to 74K, so it dumped more than 30%. And most of the altcoins, and they dumped like 95%. I mean, PopCat went from like $2. Let's see what PopCat was. I forget. Let me look at PopCat. Let me look at PopCat. I don't want to misquote you guys. See what the 3 months was. Let's see. April 8. Okay. See, yeah. So see from the top here, when the Bitcoin started, Bitcoin topped off in late January, basically when Trump took office. So PopCat was around 59 cents once Trump took office, and then it dumped all the way to 9 cents. But at one point, PopCat was even at $2. In November 13, 2024, it was at $2, and then it retraced all the way to 9 cents. So basically, over a 95% correction. That's why I like Aria, because it's just basically been going sideways between 0.0008 and 0.0025. So that's why I think Aria is really really strong. I mean, it's just been holding steady the last 3 months. It has not been dumping. It's actually been up from since let's see, the all time low was done in January 2025. So but basically Donald Trump came in, it was at 0.00023. And, while everybody else, while all the other coins were dumping, Aria was pumping, and it's just been ranging right now, like I said, between 0.008 and 0.0025. So that's why I like Aria. It's an American-made crypto. So if Donald Trump ever does give tax breaks on American-made cryptos, Aria is definitely going to qualify. Again, the all-time low is 0.0001, which was January 15, 2025. It's actually a 10x from the all-time low, and the all-time high was at 0.0031, which was done in January 29, about 101 days ago. And let's see what Aria is all about. Aria is a fully autonomous AI Twitch streamer brought to life by the Synchroverse team. She's built on a proprietary AI engine and SDK, which enables her to interact with her environment and respond to input in real time. She can also stream herself from inside a game, something that hasn't been accomplished in Web 2 or Web 3. The Synchroverse team plans on turning Aria into a full-fledged influencer on X, Twitch, and YouTube. The goal is to onboard millions of people into Web3 by showing the possibilities of AI in crypto gaming. So definitely, that's why I like Aria. Not only does it have an AI agent narrative, it also has a gaming narrative. So maybe once the gaming and the AI agent narrative come back, Aria is gonna moon. I have a lot of high hopes for Aria. I do believe it will moon once basically the AI agent and gaming narrative come back. And it's also got the American-made narrative going. So it's got three narrative. It's a U.S. American-made crypto. It's an AI agent crypto. It's got an AI narrative, and it's got a gaming narrative as well. So you can't go wrong with Aria. So that's definitely why I like Aria. So Wisp. That's my. I said Aria was my number one pick, but actually now Wisp is my number one pick because it's been mooning. And my number two pick is Aria. These are just these are coins that I'm buying. Not financial buys. Don't buy or sell any coin because I say so, because anybody says so, and only invest in the markets where you're willing to lose. And my third pick is Leah. If you don't know about Leah, Leah is another AI agent. Leah is an automated artificial intelligence with its own personality. It interacts with users in a unique way and responds to mentions, offering a personalized experience. Leah aims to make artificial intelligence accessible and engaging for all by integrating features that allow users to explore its in-depth thoughts and responses. For more information, users can visit the official website leahai.org. Yeah, Leah, she's pretty cool. Definitely check out her website, leahai.org. I mean, you could get a little taste about Leah, but she's pretty cool. She's basically got a sassy personality. I mean, if you could talk to her, you could chat with her, and if you didn't know she was an AI agent, you would think she was a human. I mean, she's definitely very human-like. Her responses are very human-like. Definitely. I have a lot of high hopes for Leah. I do believe she could get to at least $100 million market cap, maybe even more. Right now, she's sitting at a $3.96 million market cap. When I told you guys about Leah 2 days ago, I believe she was right under $3 million market cap, and right now she's basically at a $4 million market cap. So she's basically done a 33% move to the upside since I told you guys about it a couple days ago. And Leah also has great tokenomics. The max supply, the total supply of Leah is 1 billion. And what I like about it, the circulating supply is the same. It's 1 billion. So definitely, can't go wrong with Leah. A $1 billion market cap. I mean, it's a $3.96 million market cap. But the circulating supply and the max and total supply is all the same. So you're not gonna have the team dumping on you at all. So definitely, don't miss out on Leah AI. Look into Leah AI. You don't have to buy it because I say so. Look into it. If you like it, might be a good time to buy Leah before they moon. You saw what happened with Wisp. Wisp already started mooning. A lot of random coins are gonna start mooning. So definitely look into those coins. And then the other ones I already mentioned it is Pengu. Let's see where Pengu is here. Oh, not here. Okay, let me look at Pengu here real quick. I thought I had it here already, but let me look at Pengu. Pengu is the Pudgy Penguin crypto. And we all know Pudgy Penguins is really popular. They're really popular in the NFTs. They sell a lot of like things. A lot of physical things at Walmart. Like they got Pudgy Penguin stuffed animals and a bunch of other little toys to do with Pudgy Penguins. And it's got a lot of holders. I believe it's got over 500,000 holders on it. No, it's got over like 500,000 holders on Pudgy Penguins, and you can buy it everywhere. I mean, it's listed on Coinbase, Binance, KuCoin, OKX, Robinhood, Upbit, 2Bit, CoinW, BitHub, Kraken, BitBravo, Orca, Meteora, Radium. I mean, so you can basically buy it just about everywhere. I mean, I don't want to mention all of them, but look at that. The list goes on and on. So definitely the Pudgy Penguin, you can buy it everywhere. It's one of these, very popular coins. And again, it's only the all-time low is 0.0037. It's only 273% off the all-time low. Popcat has already done a 6x, and Pengu's only done like almost a 3x. I think it's the most popular, out of all the popular meme coin, is the one that's done the less X's of its low. I mean, Pepe's already done over 100x. Popcat's done a 6x from the low right now. Mog, Popcat, Peanut, they've all, done over like 10x, 50x. But if you're late in the game and you like meme coins, Pengu might be a good one to get into because it's only done almost a little bit under a 3x from the all-time low. And look at the all-time high when it first came out. It was at a little bit over 6 cents, basically 7 cents, and it's basically down 79% down from the all-time high. So still got a lot of room to the upside, and how popular it is, I do believe it could get pretty popular. I think it could basically do like 100x from the all-time low. So the all-time low is 0.0037, so it could probably get to 37 cents. So if you caught the all-time low or anywhere near the all-time low, you could get pretty close to 100x. I think it could easily get to 37 cents this cycle. Right now, the current market cap is $872 million market cap. back supply is 88 billion, and the total supply is 76.7 billion, and the current circulating supply is 62.9 billion. And I checked CoinMarketCap. There's no there's no unlocks coming up soon. The next unlock for Pengu is in December 2025. But I do believe the bull run will be over for Bitcoin and Pengu by December 2025. So you're okay on the unlocks. The team's not going to be dumping on you anytime soon. December 2025 is when the unlocks start for Pengu. So I'll definitely be selling my Pengu by December 2025. And by that time, I do believe the bull run will be over. I think the Bitcoin top is going to come in either in August, September, or October 2025. So by that time, Pengu would have topped off with Bitcoin. So, you don't have to worry about the unlocks. You don't have to worry about the team dumping on you. Now, if it gets you 37 cents, it'll basically, have a market cap about like a $20 billion market cap. So that would be like about a 20x from the price of today. So, right now it's at 0.013. If it did a 10x, it'd be at 13 cents. And then a 20x would be at 26 cents. So, even right now, it would be a good buy. If you didn't catch the lows, if you didn't catch anywhere near the lows, you still got a good 20x left in Pengu. That's not bad for a popular meme coin. But hopefully you caught the lows, and you'd have more higher returns. So there you go. Those are some coins. I have a lot of other coins I'm looking at, but for if you want access to my early picks on other low micro cap coins I'm looking at, I specialize in looking at micro cap coins under like $1 million market cap, like Wisp. Wisp was like around like $500,000 market cap when I bought it. Now it's over a $2 million market cap. If you would have been in the Patreon, you would have caught Wisp when it was at a $500,000 market cap. I haven't been live streaming for a while because I've been moving around and I haven't been able to do my desktop live streams. And I had a hard time finding a good app that live streams and screen shares. As you could see, if you've been able to, if you've been watching some of my previous live streams, I haven't been able to screen share. But I think I finally found one. I finally found a good live stream app, that I'm able to, screen share with it. I think everything's going on, I think, the screen share is happening, and I think, the audio is going through. Let me know in the live chat if the screen share has been going and the audio sounds good. I would love to, hear from you guys. That way, I know to keep using this finally found a good mobile app to live stream, because most of my live streams are going to be from my mobile app now, from mobile. So I definitely think this one will work. But let me know in the chat if the audio is sounding good and the screen share is coming out good. Let me know. I'd love to that everything's coming out good. Okay, now let me see here. Let's go. Let's go to CoinMarketCap. See if there's any news for the day. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Let's just read the headlines. It says, Bitcoin now deflationary due to strategies Bitcoin purchases analysts. Okay. Why is Ethereum price up today? Why? Because we're starting the altcoins in it, baby. Ethereum's going up to $2,500 finally. Hopefully you guys bought that dip on Ethereum on April 8th. It got as low as $1,400. Hopefully you Ethereum bulls bought that dip and you're way up right now. I know my buddy Dexpert. Shout out to Dexpert. He loves Ethereum. I know he bought that dip at $1,400, and he's definitely in the green on Ethereum. Well, let's see. 4K rises from the dead. How the image board moves crypto markets. Finally blast into space with Justin Sun, Vietnam's new national blockchain. Okay, it looks like there's no real news. Let's see what this one says. UK to become safe harbor for crypto when new draft rules. Okay, so it looks like the UK. Let's see what this has to say here. Looks like the UK looks like the UK is getting more crypto friendly. Let's just read a little bit of it. It says the UK has unveiled draft crypto rules that align digital assets with securities law, aiming to position the country as a safe harbor. On April 29th, UK Finance Minister Rachel Reeves unveiled plans for a comprehensive regulatory regime aimed at making the country a global leader in digital assets. Under the proposed rules, crypto exchange dealers and agents will be regulated similarly, traditionally, to financial firms. One second, guys. I was just seeing if there was any chat, but nothing in the chat. Okay, so under this proposed rules, crypto exchanges, dealers, and agents will be regulated similarly traditionally to traditional financial firms, where requirements for transparency, consumers protection, and operation resilience. The UK Treasury said in a statement released following Reeves' remarks. Per the statement, the Financial Services and Markets Act of 2000, Order 2025, introduces 6 new regulated activities, including crypto trading, custody, and staking. Well, I don't want to keep reading it. Let's just go over here to this post, see what it says. So, lending, borrowing, staking. Well, I don't want to read any more of this part. It's kind of boring. But basically, looks like the UK is going to become crypto friendly. Looks like they got some new rules coming into effect. Let's see what else we got here in the headlines. Red Dot Pay enters South Korea with crypto-powered payment cards. Robert Kiyosaki says, ditch fake money for Bitcoin, gold, and silver. There you go. Robert, the rich dad, poor dad, he's definitely shilling Bitcoin, and that's good for us because we love Bitcoin and cryptos here. So let's see. Bitcoin will see a gigantic SWF until laws greenlight Scaramucci, whatever that means. Bitcoin yet to hit 150K because outsiders are ghosting Michael Saylor. Okay. Let's see what the Michael Saylor is all about. Let's see what this is about. It says Bitcoin to hit 150K because outsiders are ghosting. This is by Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor says those less committed to Bitcoin took the opportunity to exit the market after Bitcoin's price surge. Strategy founder Michael Saylor says Bitcoin hasn't reached 150K yet because holders without a long-term outlook have been selling off while new cohort of investors are beginning to enter the market. I think we're going through a rotation right now, Saylor said on the Coin Stories podcast with Natalie Brunell on May 9th. The lack of 10-year investor mindset led to the Bitcoin sell-off, Saylor said. Lots of non-economically interested parties are rotating out of the asset. However, at the same time, a new cohort of investors are entering. A lot of Bitcoin, for whatever reason, was left in the hands of the government and the hands of lawyers and the hands of bankruptcy trustees, he added. Saylor said that many of these trustees do not have a 10-year investor mindset, and as Bitcoin price began to rally, they took advantage and thought this as a good exit point to get liquidity. So I think people less committed to the long term have taken the opportunity to exit the market, and a whole new class of investors are entering by way of ETFs and by way of Bitcoin treasury companies. So I guess basically okay, let's continue reading this last part here. It says, this is Michael Saylor. He says, after Bitcoin reached its all-time high at 109K on January 20, by the way, that's when Donald Trump that's when he started his presidency. Just hours before U.S. President Donald Trump's presidential inaugurations, it experienced a downtrend falling as low as 76K on April 9th. Actually, it went as low as 74K. Before starting to show signs of recovery. On May 8, Bitcoin reclaimed 100,000 for the first time since February 1st after U.S. President Donald Trump proposed tariffs. If you've been in the market since Donald Trump took office, basically that basically signaled the top, and then once Donald Trump started talking about tariffs, he basically taxed the market. We went as low as 74K all of February, March, and then we finally bottomed out on April 8 and hit 74K. But ever since then, we've been on the up and up. 74K is the local low, I believe. Don't listen to the bears out there. There's a lot of bears out there. You're still calling for like 70K Bitcoin or 60K Bitcoin. I don't think we're gonna go under 74K. I do believe 74K is the local bottom, and I do believe the Bitcoin the Bitcoin rallies are just getting started, and so is the true altcoin season. It's just getting rally. I do believe the Bitcoin parabolic run is just getting started. We're about to get into the parabolic part of the bull run for Bitcoin and altcoins. So if you're not in the market right now, it's not a good idea not to be in the market. Not financial advice, but I'm definitely in the market. I'm definitely, got my Bitcoin huddling and all my altcoins huddle. I'm holding for dear life for the Bitcoin parabolic bull run. Probably like 2 or 3 months after the parabolic bull run comes in is when I'm gonna start scaling out. I'll be selling out of the market. Think about joining the Patreon. Patreon.com / Top Crypto Bull. If you want to know when I'll be selling, scaling out of the market, and you'll get access to my microcap gems. I got a lot of microcap gems under $1 million market cap that I only my patrons know about, like Wisp. You would have got into Wisp, and you would have got into Pengu, at their lows, before I mentioned it here on the live stream, publicly. So yeah, so I guess Becco sailors basically say, that a lot of people are selling off, but of course, Becco sailor, that's why there's a lot of traders out there, people, are traders. They trade, and they buy Bitcoin, and they make a few percent, they sell. They put in like $1 million, it goes up 10%, they make 100 grand and they sell. That's just the name of the game. Crypto, is a buy and sell, pump and dump game. But Bitcoin does follow, the 4-year cycle, and I do believe, the 4-year cycle is still intact. There's a lot of people out there saying, the 4-year cycle is over. That this time it's going to be different. There's a lot of YouTubers out there, a lot of influencers saying that the Bitcoin bull run is going to last until 2026, until like Q2 or the end of 2026. I'm not in that camp. I mean, nobody really knows what's going to happen. I mean, I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen, but I'm going to follow, the 4-year cycle until proven otherwise, until it's broken. But for right now, it hasn't been broken. Right now, I'm still following the 4-year cycle. I mean, the last 4-year cycle top came in November of 2021. So we still got until November of 2025 for the Bitcoin top to come in. And if the Bitcoin top comes in after 2025, then the Bitcoin 4-year cycle will be broken. But for now, the Bitcoin 4-year cycle has not been broken, so I'm gonna keep following the 4-year cycle. Yep, and let's see, the current price is, what's the current price of Bitcoin? Up still 103,151. So that's great news. Definitely, we're still going sideways for Bitcoin. So that means the altcoins are going to keep moving. Let's go to CoinMarketCap. Let's see what coins are mooning. Let's see if anything's mooning. In Doge is it's up 13% up in the day. Is at 23 cents. Let's see, Ethereum is up 6% up in the last day, $2,481. XRP is at $2.41. It's up 2.33% in the last day. We got Solana just going sideways at 171, same price as it was 24 hours ago. Sui at 398, it's up 2.42% in the last 24 hours. AVAX is at $24.43, it's up 5.68% in the last 24 hours. XLM, XRP's twin brother, is up 3.5% up in the day. Finally, XLM starting to run, as well as XRP. By the way, in case you guys don't know, guys, it looks like the SEC and Ripple, they both agreed, and they basically, they agreed to a settlement. They're settling on $50 million that Ripple has to pay out to the SEC for the institutional investor that happened, when it first came out. But basically, XRP is not a security, and the Ripple case is basically, settled. The SEC and the Ripple, they're settling 50 million. The case kept going on because SEC wanted 125 million, and Ripple wasn't wanting to pay that much. But it looks like Ripple is willing to pay 50 million, and SEC is willing to accept $50 million payment from Ripple. So the XRP case is settled. SEC and Ripple have both agreed for a $50 million payment from Ripple to the SEC. Even DOT's on the move. DOT, which is basically a stable coin, is actually up 6% up in the day. It's up at $5.06. I mean, DOT's just a stable coin, but that's a good sign. When even DOT's starting to go up, that's good signs. The altcoin season is starting to move. So we're definitely, in the beginning in the altcoin season, if you ask me. So that's definitely good news. Let's see. According to CoinMarketCap, the total crypto market cap is at $3.30 trillion. So basically $3.3 trillion. Even the altcoin index has gone up. It's at 41. It's at 41. The altcoin index, I remember, at the low when Bitcoin was at 74K, it was at around like 15, 16, 17. But the altcoin index is at 41. So we're definitely moving up on the altcoin index. So the altcoin season is definitely kicking in. The fear of greed, according to CoinMarketCap, is at 71. So everybody's greedy. We'll probably continue to move for a few more days until Donald Trump probably dumps the market if we get some bad news on the China trade tariff negotiation. But if on the other hand, if we get some good news that there's progress on the U.S. and China trade tariff negotiations, it'll probably make Bitcoin move, and it'll probably blast off Bitcoin and the cryptos and make it go into new all-time highs. That's what I'm hoping for. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. Donald Trump could either dump the market or pump the market. He pumped it yesterday when he signaled the market on his conference when he announced the UK trade deal while he was talking to the UK Prime Minister. That was good news for the market, because of the trade deal with the UK. And he also pumped the market because he signaled during the conference. He said, buy stocks now. The U.S. is going to be the #1 economy in the world. He said, buy stocks, buy stocks. And the stocks did go up a little bit, but basically stocks are risk-on assets. But, Bitcoin and cryptos, when stocks go up, Bitcoin and cryptos, they go up even more. So, Bitcoin and cryptos, are getting the best returns out of the Donald Trump signal to buy stocks. So when he said buy stocks, he also meant, buy cryptos. So we're doing good there. Let's check out the Bitcoin dominance. I see Bitcoin price is still the same, $103,209. So everything is the same for Bitcoin. Just going sideways. I'm loving it because that makes the altcoins move. Let's see. Look at here. Let's look at the Bitcoin dominance. I mean the Bitcoin dominance, here, let me put it in 7 days. Look at that. The Bitcoin dominance, it's been going up this whole time, but now, let's look at the 1 week. It's been going down. Now, I want the 1 week. Let's look at the 1 day here. Let me see if I can figure out how to get it here. On the 1 day, let's see. Oh, here it is, the 1 day. Yeah, we want 5 day. There we go. Finally, we got the Bitcoin dominance up. And let me see, can we turn it to Hakadashi? We want 15 minutes. Let's see, what else do we want here? Actually, we want the hourly. And let me see, I want Hakadashi. Here, let's do the 1 month better. That looks better. But, well, I guess we'll leave it like that for now. But as you can see right now, the Bitcoin The Bitcoin dominance is going back down. Right now we're at 63.4% Bitcoin dominance. We did top off on May 7th at 65.48 was the Bitcoin top. That's the local top for the Bitcoin dominance on May 7th. Is 65.48, and right now we're at 63.04. So we're definitely, look at this. We're falling off the cliff on the Bitcoin dominance. So hopefully we keep falling and falling, and we go into the altcoin season. Now let me see if we could go to all time here. Can we go to the 5 year? Here's the Bitcoin dominance on the 5 year. If you look at the Bitcoin dominance, last time Bitcoin dominance topped off, let's see what's the date. It was December 21st, 2020. That's when the Bitcoin dominance topped off, basically at 72%. And that was basically the right before the altcoin season got started. And then right after December 21st, 2020, basically the beginning of 2021, the Bitcoin dominance started to fall off the cliff. And they went all the way from 72% and then bottomed out. Let's see, it first bottomed out in May. Here we go, May. It bottomed out in May. It bottomed out at 39%, 39.66%. So it went from 72% to 39%. So basically, it fell down like 32%. So, and then that marked basically the top for Bitcoin and most of the altcoins. So it fell from 72 to 39%. So that basically it fell 32%. So right now the Bitcoin dominance is at 63. Let's just call the 65% was the top. So if it falls 32%, let's just say it falls 30%. So once the Bitcoin dominance gets to around like 35%, that's basically going to mark the top for Bitcoin and the altcoins. So once you see the Bitcoin dominance, like under 40%, that's going to be a good signal that the Bitcoin top and the altcoin season top is going to come in. So remember that once the Bitcoin dominance gets around 40%, you probably could be a good idea to start selling your altcoins, because that means that's going to be a good signal that the Bitcoin top and the altcoin season top is pretty much coming in. And you basically want to get out before we start dumping. So that'd be a good indicator right there. All right. Well, I've been talking for a while, guys. Been talking for a while. Definitely. Let me go back here to the 5 day. Oh, this is the Bitcoin dominance, huh? Let me go to Bitcoin. Go to watch list. Bitcoin. There we go. Okay, but we want the 5 day. And we want the hourly. There we go. That looks better. So yeah, so the Bitcoin is still just going sideways at $103,253. Let me see. Let me go for the day here. Let's go for the day. So look at this. It's just been going sideways between like 100 and 2,800 and 104,100 for the whole day. So there you go. Bitcoin's just ranging, $2,000 range between 102 and 104,000 So that's really good for the altcoins. The more it ranges like that, the more all the altcoins start mooning. So that's awesome. All right. Well, I guess there's no questions on the chat. I'll give you guys a few seconds. If you guys have any questions for me, I'll give you guys a minute. To ask me some questions. If I don't get any questions in the next minute, then I'm just gonna end the stream. Okay. Let me see what I could show you. Let's see real quick. The RSI. Let's look at the RSI here. But let me go to a higher time frame. Let's go back to 6 months. And let me see. Not the 2 hour. Let's see here. The daily. Okay, well, how do I get the RSI? Let me go 6 months. How do I get the RSI to, let's see here. Wherever. Well, let me see here. Let's go to the 5 day. And I guess I gotta pick 15 minutes. Huh. Well, I guess the RSI right now is at 74. I mean, it's just been ranging, between like 15. Let's see where here it is. The RSI number. It's been ranging between uh, okay. Well, I can't pull up the RSI right now. Well, anyways, the minute is up. I guess I don't have any questions right now. In the chat right now. Um, but hopefully, you guys enjoyed the streams. Thanks for bearing with me in the beginning. If you're just joining the stream, I'm pretty much gonna end it right now. Go ahead and rewind to the beginning. Hit replay. But thanks for bearing with me. If you're just joining the stream in the beginning, I just testing a new mobile live streaming app. So in the beginning, I just take a little bit testing the audio and the screen share options. So definitely, thanks for bearing with me in the beginning for that. Well, this top crypto bull, guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Again, if you want early access, to my micro cap jams, under $1 million market cap, before anybody else, definitely think about joining the live. Think about joining my Patreon. It's patreon.com/top crypto bull. It's in the description. Just click the link. I'm having a sale right now. Only $10 a month to join my Patreon. Only $10 a month. Probably the cheapest out there, guys, and you get a lot of it'll be worth it. Just right now before the altcoins start moving, so you guys can get access to my microcap gems. If you would have been my Patreon, you would have known about Wisp when it was at a $500,000 market cap. Right now, it's over a $2 million market cap. So you'd be definitely like over a 3 to 4x of Wisp alone, and you would have gotten the low on Pengu, and there's a lot of other micro cap gems I've invested in, but I don't want to mention all of them. I'm just letting you know Wisp and Pengu here on the public channels. If you join my Patreon, you have early access to my micro cap gems that are about to move that are under $1 million market cap. All right, guys. Well, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Think about joining the Patreon. Only $10 a month. This Top Crypto Bull signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.